This
Okay.
conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Recreation Advisory Committee, April 24th, 2024, 5:30 p.m. Calling this meeting to order, and for attendance, I see everyone is present, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Any disclosure of pecuniary interests? Why are my lights flashing? Okay. Um, has everyone had a chance to look over the agenda for this evening? And if so, do I have a motion to approve the agenda? RuPaul, okay, second. Councillor Davey, okay, all in favor? Okay. Review of the draft minutes of our March 20th meeting. Does anyone have anything they'd like to talk about? Kim, anything you want to address from the minutes of the last meeting? Oh, Anne, sorry, Anne.
You're on mute, Anne.
So item 2 says opening ceremonies for Mono College pickleball courts. It says Rupal and Sally will be attending. I will also be attending that.
It's on Friday, right? So May 10th.
So, okay, no, that got changed. So the pickleball had to get changed to accommodate ministers' offices. So it's been moved now to May the 24th. And it's at 10 a.m.
So I was aware of that, but I'm just saying that I will be attending that opening as well
Oh, great.
on that day. And I don't know, I don't know if Sally and Rupal will still be there then, but I will definitely be there.
Okay.
Well, I mean, to be sure, we're really just talking about the minutes, right? So if it was reflected in the last meeting, I mean, wasn't reflected in the last meeting, whether it was May 24th or not, right? So it should be go to the minutes of this meeting. But
that's right. So the minutes as written were correct because that's what was said. And so when we talk about new business, I'll be letting you know that the date has changed.
Okay. Any other comments about the minutes for March 20th? Okay. Motion to adopt the minutes of March 20th meeting. Sally? Second. Dave? Okay, all in favor? Okay. Business. Any new business arising from those minutes? Or are we good?
So business arising, I guess, is just to let you know that the date has been changed for the opening.
Okay, good. Any delegations with us tonight, Kim?
Nope.
Okay. Ping pong tournament possibility.
We were looking at that. We were looking at that for trying to get the ping pong club, give them a little bit of a boost, but they definitely don't need it. Ping pong club is up and running, and they had to pay, what was it, Em? I believe $30 to join the ping pong club, which, and I think we have 12 members. and they are meeting regularly on Wednesday nights. They have 4 tables now. We were able to get another table thanks to a donation from Karen Rosenbrock. So we now have 4 tables set up weekly for them downstairs in the lower south room at Mono Center. They play from 7 to 9 p.m. and have a pretty standard turnout each week with all tables going. So that club is really doing very, very well this year. Yeah, they're happy.
Good to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Trivia tournament possibility.
This was something that was brought up to me by another coworker as to a possibility for something more or in place of euchre. Maybe do we want to think about offering a trivia tournament for residents as an additional opportunity for them to get out and be social? It's really important in recreation that we, as we all know, that we don't provide just physical things, that we provide opportunities for social engagement. And between our euchre night and quite a few of the other things we do, we do offer lots of social activity, but this would be another possibility if you want to consider it.
What month would you be thinking for something like this, Kim?
I mean, what do? We do euchre in February and again in, what did we do it, October or November?
It's November this year.
We called
It's
it
November
Harvest.
this
Yeah.
right, Harvest Euchre. So November and October, or no, February. So
August. Could do something in September.
August, have a midsummer, or could we do one April, May, June? Well, August, we're doing Mono Melodies. We've got that going in August.
What about September? What about September? Do we do something in September?
Not that I know of. Oh, well, we're getting ready for the children's Halloween party. That keeps us pretty, well, October keeps us busy with that. And then we've got Harvest Euchre, Harvest Euchre right beyond that. But yeah, what if we did something like, the 3rd week of September or something?
I've only been to a couple of them, and they've always been in that I've been to have been in pubs around so I'm not saying that it has to be alcohol, but it's the idea that people would be sitting at tables, and we'd have snacks and things, and because it's something that takes a while, right? Like, that's the fun of it. It's the ones that I've been to, they're timed, but they also are over a period of, like the euchre. It's a couple of hour activity. No, is that?
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
I've only been to one, and it was over a couple of hours. It was in a pub. I'm thinking kind of the same formula as what we do with the euchre, that we would, provide a bar for them. There'd be snacks. That seems to go over quite well. And then we'd have to come up with the questions and the format and that kind of thing if we want to go through with it. And
we're not organizing it.
Do we want a theme?
And prizes. Pay to play. You pay a little buck. Do you do that in a pub too? You put into the kitty, and then the kitty gets split up with a little bit to the house and a little bit for the prize.
Yeah,
is that how it works?
I mean, seems to work quite well for euchre. You pay, I don't know, your $20, and the $5 off the top goes towards the prizes. What do you guys think? You want to give it a try? Do you?
I think it's a great idea. In terms of date, my only thoughts are some people have some time off in December. We don't do a lot in December. People are looking to go out and socialize in December. And we could also tie it in maybe with a food bank promotion where we ask people to make a donation to the food bank, because that's a critical time of year for them as well. So those are just my thoughts.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, that's
Bad idea,
that's a good, yeah, that's a great idea.
Number.
You know, though, Christmas time's always tricky for lots of people's office parties and things like that. Are we thinking of we're thinking of a Friday evening or a midweek event, or?
I was thinking of a Friday evening again,
Okay.
or if you wanted to try Thursday, that's another.
I know that December, whenever I try to get a cycling club party together, there's always, as soon as you start talking about the dates, there's so many. Though I do like the idea that it would be, because we don't have a particular holiday event that we do, and this would be, we could throw in some various holiday trivia questions.
Yeah.
And that whole donating and doing good and all that, it all kind of wraps up. It could be really a terrific community event for that time of year. Different than the right? The usual seasons
Yeah.
party. Yeah. Okay. Just which week?
Yeah.
Sally's had his hand up, Mike.
Yeah, December, a lot of people are busy, I think, with holiday parties, especially if it's on a Friday.
Okay.
I've already scheduled a party for the pickleball club in December, so that's one that's going to be out. We did a trivia last spring with the pickleball club, and we actually had a person who goes and plays a lot at the Black Birch, and we had one of the people from there, not the Black Birch, at the Black Wolf on Broadway, and she knew the guy that ran the trivia. I was actually surprised how they run it. They have sheets they hand out sheets to each group, and the questions are all pre-picked, and they've picked them out already. You can get a lot of the questions on the internet. I think there's all sorts of examples of trivia on there. It was very hard. It was actually really hard for Dave and me and a lot of other people. Certain categories were, like the music, they didn't have the right era, so it was 80s and 90s music, which was not fun. But it was done by one of the people that does it all the time, and it made it better, because you got to run it. He was really good. It was smooth, and he knew exactly how to run it.
So you're saying, like, so everyone has their piece of paper and they write down, like he calls out the questions, and then like you've got a piece of paper that maybe has 1 to 20 on it, and so you've called out the first question and your answer is whatever. And then what do they do? Hand in their pieces of paper and they tally it up? Is that how they do it, Sally?
We work in a group, and when you're done, there's a time limit. When you're done, you hand it to the table, a table on either on one side or whatever, and the other group marks it for you, and then that's scored. But he does it the same way when he does it at his bar, and but he ran it. It was very well organized. It was actually a really good evening if you like trivia. We found it like things like Dave's really good at trivia, history, geography, stuff like that. There were no questions on that, so it was very frustrating for us.
So I would propose that we go to the Wolf as a research program here, and come up with doing it ourselves, where we come up with questions that fit the demographic that we think is going to show up, and maybe some local mono trivia too, things that, as opposed to, because I presume, Sally, this person was hired. I presume?
I don't know, actually, because someone else brought him. I don't know whether she paid him. We didn't pay him. Anne.
And
He volunteered his time. It is not as simple as just coming up with questions. It's more involved than having a euchre tournament. Euchre tournament, the people do the playing and they keep the score, and then you have a final. Just saying, I've been involved in several. They do it different ways. The way we had it with the pickleball club was one way. I was involved in another one where the person that was orchestrating it did the marking, and that's different again. And the way that one was, they weren't single questions with single answers. It was like, name 5 Beatles songs where the first word of the song was an L. And then you had time. You worked in a group, but then he collected them and he marked them, or he had a marker while he introduced the next one. It's not just simple. It's got to be quick. It's got to be clever. It's got to be fun, but it's got to be serious too. So I think it worked well for the pickleball club because we had a professional person who volunteered his time to run it for us. And we did have prizes. We went around and we got prizes, and we got prizes donated, and it was a successful evening, more successful for some than others, because the questions didn't have a wide range, but he ran it in a very smooth, clever. He was funny. He was able to keep everything moving. I just don't want to leave you with the impression, oh, it's easy. We'll just come up with questions and we'll just run it. It's a lot more to it than that.
did it happen to be John Cavello? Because John Cavello has done this a few times at Headwaters for the pickleball groups and the tennis groups, and he did a great job.
It wasn't John.
Okay.
But maybe we could get him. I'm not saying.
So it sounded very similar. So John just mirrored his iPad, had 15 questions. You answered them as a group, and then you passed it to the next group. As he read the answers, they marked your papers, and the top 3 teams won prizes, and everyone had a lot of fun.
How many people in a group?
I think it varied from 4 to 8. Very informal, but yeah, drinks were involved. We had dinner. So this was after a night of tennis and/or pickleball, and then we just went up to the Nook afterwards at HRC. And he's done it several times, and everyone has a great time.
Wow. What do you guys think?
I think it'd
I'm
be a
all
great
for you.
idea, and I don't know that we need to hire somebody to do it, but you know, depending on what, I mean, if this is something that lots of people are already doing in the community, I mean, I don't want to be repetitive and boring for people, but if it's something that is, you know, a little bit broader, I mean, we're thinking adults to have it in the evening as opposed to a family activity, which we, you know, certainly our Winterfest and things like that are all family oriented. But I don't know. I mean, we don't have a budget, right?
No, not the, I mean, unless we chose like March or something of next year sort of thing, March or April of next year, and then I could put it in the budget for 2025. I mean, it was just a thought as another possible community event. Another thing I was thinking about, which was not my idea, I got it last week when I was at my Parks and Rec Ontario conference, is another community. They run a comedy night, open mic, much like our Mono Melodies, but they allow people to come, like aspiring comedians, to come and do their you know, their spiel, and yeah, they run a comedy night. So that's, you know, they said they have a lot of fun at that. And, you know, they actually have some pretty good comedians in their community. And they've done it a few times now, and pretty much it's the same people that keep coming out over and over again, but other people seem to enjoy these people's sense of humor. Anyways, that was an idea that I thought, well, I don't know if we have any aspiring comedians in our neck of the woods, but not sure how many of those are going on.
Yeah, I like the trivia idea much more than the comedy night. Comedy can go downhill in a hurry and can be quite offensive if you don't pick the right people. It would be a lot of work to screen comedians.
Yeah, this comedian, or this person who was talking about it, he himself gets up and he's got about 5 other friends who are the comedians, and he was saying that they pretty much the majority of their jokes are they pick fun at each other. So yeah, he says pretty harmless, but it's a lot of fun. But yeah, I agree with you, Mike. It could go south fast.
Okay, so do people want to pick a date and try it this year, or do you want to wait till next year?
Well, I mean, this year coming up, what we've got is we've got Make Mono Shine. We've got what's after Make Mono Shine. I know we have 3 grant recognition ceremonies. That's keeping both Em and I busy preparing for them, and they're coming up in May. What's after that?
And
We've
then
got Mono Melodies.
Soccer program. So Mono Melodies in August.
Soccer program starts in June. Emma has a Home Alone, of course, in June that she puts on. What else have we got going on? So, and then Mono Melodies, and then the next one after Mono Melodies is the Children's Halloween Party. And then, and then after that, we have our euchre. Did I miss anything?
We have 2 Wreath and Wines, and then the Christmas Bazaar.
Oh,
Winterfest is in there too.
Well,
Next year.
Yeah, I'm just going with what we have left in 2024.
And then Pumpkin Trail.
The Halloween party.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll maybe we just plan it next year then.
I'd rather that.
Okay, so.
Okay, I still propose though that between now and whenever we bring this back next year, that we actually go to a few of them as recon.
I like it.
An outing
I like
an outing, because I mean, this is terrific that I get to see you while I'm down away and everything on this, whatever, but we need to get together in person. So why don't we plan to go figure out, we'll do it by email, an invite, but why don't we plan to go one night when they do it at the Wolf Pub in, I presume that's in Orangeville, right? I'm afraid I'm not sure.
Broadway.
Yeah. So what? Yeah, that's what I thought. But so why don't we throw out a few, find out when they're doing that, throw out a couple of dates, and see if we can get the 7 of us together to go listen to play some trivia as a team and see how we do. And if we have fun doing it, then we can work on providing it for our community.
I like that idea. Does anyone want to give the Wolf Pub, like look after kind of trying to get some dates together and get that out to us?
And I can also ask John if he's planning to do another one at the Nook, because we can always go there.
Okay.
Oh, pardon me. When you say the Nook, you mean the old Mono restaurant that moved to the Headwaters Racket Club. Oh, now that would be a good spot too. Okay. All right. So I'll find out about the Wolf one, and Mike, you find out about the Racket one, and we'll see what nights the 7 of us can get together to be a team.
Like it.
Great.
Okay.
Okay, make Mono shine planning.
Okay, so I think we're doing pretty good, eh, Emma? When it comes to Make Mono Shine, got another gift today from Sunshine Construction and Landscaping. They're going to be giving us a gift certificate for their services. We've gotten gifts from Dufferin Glen Golf. We've gotten a rain barrel. Still waiting to hear back from Hockley. I've left them messages in that regard. Have not heard anything back from them yet. And we'll be reaching out to a couple of the restaurants. So I'm not too concerned about prizes. Maybe there might be some maple syrup as a prize.
Muted.
There might be, yeah.
When you
That would-
mentioned the restaurants, the new ones on Highway 10, Melanie's and the Good Eats, or whatever that one was called.
I hadn't thought about.
Or were you just thinking of Hawkins?
No, I was thinking about the Black Birch. I was thinking about Mrs. Mitchell's. These are places I didn't go to for Winterfest, and see whether or not they would be wanting to sponsor and get their name out there. During the event, we will be promoting them.
Just
then.
thinking. Yeah. Well, that's it.
Yeah, Mono Cliffs Inn. From my discussions with the tennis club, they're going to be sponsoring the lunch for the tennis club. So I don't really want to go to them and then ask them to give us a gift as well. So I'm going to stay away from them. Just, being very appreciative that they're already sponsoring a part of the event. But yeah, I think we got a number of prizes from Dufferin Glen. He was very, very generous to us with golfing 2-for-1s and free golf passes and stuff like that. And I know Emma's trying to follow up with Lynbrook, get something from them. So, I mean, it's not like Winterfest, not like our snowflake draw. This is if we get half a dozen, I think we're fine. Everybody good with that? Emma, I'm just trying to think of, the scale. That was the one thing I wanted to ask you guys about. Are we going to have a scale for weighing?
Did you look for it?
Yeah, we'll have a scale, don't worry.
Awesome. Okay.
And for the garage sale, I just checked before the meeting. We're up to 6 tables for the garage sale.
Has anyone looked at the weather forecast?
It's pretty far out.
I checked today, and as of right now, it's supposed to be decent.
Is it? So we've been telling people that if Mother Nature cooperates, the whole event will be held outdoors. Garage sale, community booths, everything will be outside. So if that's the case, that means that we as the committee will be setting up first thing on Saturday morning. So we could be very busy. Yeah, because the garage sale starts at 10. Everything starts at 10. So yeah, for sure we'd have to be on site at 8 o'clock to get everything, all the
Warm,
tables out.
there's a chance of a shower, but it's so far away, you don't know.
What does it say, Dave? What does it say?
it says 16 degrees, chance of a shower, but that's quite a long ways away, so it's not very reliable.
Okay. Emma, can you just give us an update as far as the plantings and what's going on there for the rack table?
Yep, we have everything. I bought a bunch of the little cardboard planting pots and a bunch of different seeds for like carrots, flowers, cucumbers, lettuce. We had some stuff left over from last year, so just got some extra just in case. And then all the planting or the potting soil, so it'll all be good to go. And I think Shelly picked it up today to take over to the community center.
Okay, so I guess we'll just put our tent up, and we want to advertise our tent. We do have a tent that says Town of Mono, or does it say Mono Recreation? Again, I can't remember. But what's it say, Emma?
I think it just says Town of Mono.
Yeah, so we've got a tent, and we'll put that up and put our table underneath it. And what do you guys think?
Lighthouse. Can you mute us? Can you mute?
Sounds good.
We've got
Sounds good.
we've got coloring pages. I think. Why am I thinking we have a sandbag or a toss? What do you call that?
Corn, they call it corn toss.
Corn toss. There's something
Cornhole.
telling me cornhole.
Yeah, cornhole.
You know, that it might be fun just to have that up by our table and kids can do that. I've asked the tennis club to organize some games for kids on the courts, which they're looking after. How's it sound? Can anybody think of anything else that we're missing? I think as long as, Mike, you're going to look after, you know, when people come in with weighing, and like Dave's going to be driving the gator.
Yeah,
You're going to be
usually
weighing.
Emma and I are at the table telling people where to go and collecting things and just answering any questions. So I'll be there again.
Oh, okay. That's actually what we'll use our tent for. And then we'll put our table under the overhang by the lower south room there.
So just to clarify, you wanted to do bottles. I did get 3 boxes for wine bottles from LCBO. I can't see us needing more than that. That would be what, almost 75, 12, 36. Anyway, 36 wine bottles. We've never had 36 wine bottles show up.
No. Yeah, so sorry.
I'll bring the bottles, and then whatever gets filled, I'll take to the SPCA at the end of the evening or a day. Now, Emma, I know I was down to help with the little plantings. Did you say that, or did you say another name?
I just got, I'm not sure who's taking the day of. I just picked up all the supplies, so no one has to go purchase any supplies.
Great. And so then I'll still be doing that. It might be nice. Right. I don't know if it's a nice day. There might be a lot of people. I don't know if anybody else can give me a hand if it gets really busy, because it's kind of a one-on-one thing with little children.
Last year there were 5 kids that did it.
Pardon?
Last year there were 5 children.
I know, but that was last year and it was absolutely dead. I'm just saying maybe it'll be different.
Maybe if the weather's nice.
I think I saw Rupal put her hand up there.
That'd be great if Rupal can help me.
I can help. Yeah, I can help.
That'd be great. Thank you.
And I won't be there. I have another engagement that day.
Yeah, I think you told me that.
I did. I have a rain shower.
That's what it was.
Can we go back? Can we go back to the wine bottles? So the bottles we're wanting to collect separate from refuse that we find in the ditch because it has a deposit on it. But what about what about all of the crazy beer cans? Like there's a lot of beer cans, and when you take those to the beer store, you get 10 cents each or 5, I don't know, you get something back. Do we, what do we think about those? If wine bottles is your recollection that we don't have very many of them?
Somebody has to
Yeah,
pull them out.
yeah, the plan was to give a separate bag for anything that can be returned for deposit. So not just wine bottles, but beer bottles, beer cans, anything that can raise money for the SPCA should be collected separately.
So we have
Okay,
it,
good,
like
good,
we've
not
sent out,
just bottles.
okay, so, but I'm just saying, we've done the advertising for the event. Like the
Mhm.
flyers are made, all of that, and nothing about separating out the anything with a deposit, you know, a monetary deposit attached to it has been indicated on any of our flyers. So this would, in order to get people to do this, like to have a bag for, you know, deposit type recycling and have another bag for just what they find, you know, that's garbage. Um, we're going to have to come up with some type of blast on social media to let people know. And I mean, Emma's my social media guru. I'm going to revert to her on this as to whether or not this is possible.
We could post something, but there's just no guarantee on how many people will be reached because I've been promoting it since Winterfest. So it's hard to say with just a week left to go. I can post it, no problem. But it may not get us the traction we want it to get.
Well, just wondering. I mean, Mike, you've been at because I've never been at the collecting part of it, and so this, I know we had this come up in our meeting, obviously since Anne got the boxes, but when people come, it's obvious that there's a whole bunch of bottles, and so it's kind of like, gee, I wish we could do something differently. So now we'll be able to say, hey,
Yeah,
fish those out.
it's shocking the amount of alcohol bottles that are found on the side of our roads in Mono. So that we had discussed it a few times. So I mean, I guess the best course of action at this point is when we give out the bags, we will just say, okay, this bag is for anything that can be returned for deposit, and then this bag over here is for garbage. We can just tell people as they come in.
Yeah,
My
and if
only
they
concern
bring,
about that, Mike, is will people be coming to pick up bags, or are they just going to come? Are they going to go out, pick up their garbage, and then show up?
Yeah, there'll be a bit of both. In past years, I think about 90% of people picked up bags from us. So whether
Okay.
that evens
okay,
out or not, but there are a lot.
okay, oh great.
Okay, so maybe should we? Do we have bags from the county, Emma? Did they?
I emailed Chris, and Chris told me on Tuesday that he had to talk to his supervisor to get it approved, or director, and then he was going to be in touch with me. So I have a reminder on my email to follow up with him again tomorrow morning. But either way, Shelby
Okay.
has bags ready to go if we can't get them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and they're clear bags. I'm just thinking if, you know, maybe we just had some red or, you know, blue sticker, like that's something that we could put on one bag and say, okay, this is the bag, you know, you're going to put, what do you call them? Deposit return, recycle or deposit return garbage, bottles, cans in, and this one is for everything else, all the other garbage. Does that sound like a plan?
Booze, could just write booze on it.
Yeah, your booze bag. Actually, you know what? Don't laugh. That's people would get, you know, anywhere we can put humor in this. This is your booze bag.
Because where we live, because where we live, all stuff that comes, from those shops gets to go back to the beer store. So the SPCA doesn't have like a special deal. They actually just schlep it over to the beer store too, right? Isn't that how the
They have containers. They have,
Who?
the SPCA has containers, and you bring it over there, and the volunteers put it in the containers, and they weigh it. It doesn't go to the beer store. It's picked up in large containers that are supplied. I believe someone sponsors them, and then the LCB, the beer store picks them up.
Yes, but ultimately the beer store is the one that has
That's where they get the money back.
in the
Okay, so wait a minute, I'm a little bit confused. So we end up getting like, a few bags of beer bottles or beer cans and wine bottles. Do we take those bags to the SPCA, or do we take them to the beer store?
No, Ann knows where to take them. They collect them at, what's it called? Bag of sand. What's it?
It's
Orangeville Sand and Gravel?
Orangeville Salt and Sand Supply.
Yeah.
The SPCA has a spot there. I mean, you can take them directly to the beer store if you want, and then you'll get the money. But if you take them to the SPCA, then they'll get the money.
Well, I'm just thinking, like, if we took them to the beer store, got the money, and then made a donation, I'm just thinking, is there a way that Make Mono Shine will get recognized for doing this?
I don't know.
Like, it'd be
That's a
nice
good
to say,
idea.
yes, we collected over 1,000 pounds of garbage, and we also collected,
$200
$250
worth of
in,
wine bottles.
yeah, which that money has been donated to the SPCA. How does
That's nice. We
I've
also
never
have to
done
take
this.
into account. You have to take into account your staff time, right? Which we already have staff time of organizing when the trucks come, and right, there's been that added cost each year with Make Mono Shine because it's been with Dufferin County, not just within our municipality. But yeah, I guess I would wait and see how many bags we get and how arduous it's going to be to either take it just directly to our SPCA or have our staff do it.
Okay.
With the idea that the money ultimately goes to them, but you're right, with some way that we can fully say how much it was or whatever. That'd be great.
It would be a waste of money for the staff to do it.
Pardon?
It would be a waste of money for the staff to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Go ahead.
I think it's a waste of money to have staff time doing that. Like, you could just say we made a donation to the SPCA by dropping the bottles off. It's very simple to leave them there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the simple way to do
Just
it.
give an estimate of the amount of money. Right, like if we're bothering to weigh stuff for the pounds, that seems to have some sort of meaning, and so does the bottles. I mean, you could count the bottles or whatever, but having somebody else count them and then give you your 10 cents, I don't know. So it would be nice to have a number attached to it. But you're right, absolutely right, Sally. If we then end up spending $300 of staff time to try to get them to go do something, you're right. That's right.
So you want staff then to drop them off at Orangeville Salt and Soil?
I thought Ann said, but I don't know. Did Ann say she was taking them?
Or did Ann say she was taking them?
Muted.
I'm happy to take them, or if, I mean, we don't have a truck. I know Dave has.
Any. We have a
Staff
van.
has a truck, but we've got the Subaru. I'm not anticipating 40 boxes. I'm thinking maybe 6, or a couple of bags of cans and a couple boxes of beer.
Mike, you know
a
how
couple
much?
boxes of wine bottles and maybe a couple bags of cans. We can do a quick guess as to the value of it, and we can say, it's over $100 or over $150. I don't think that's, and then I can bring them and deliver them.
Okay, that'd be great. Everybody good with that?
Sure.
Okay, awesome. Um, yeah. And you know what? Like I have no problem. I put gloves on or whatever, and if I see somebody bring stuff in and I see a liquor bottle in there, I have no problem opening it up and picking it out.
That's what I was
I
thinking too.
I got gloves on.
Yeah.
So Emma, yeah, so if we could get you to, do a blurb or whatever, like whatever you call that, media blast.
Yep, and I'll get Andrew to put it on the website too.
Okay, great. Anything else about oh, hang on. Here we go. Anything else about Make Mono Shine that anyone can think of? I think as long as we're there at 8 o'clock, Em and I will keep in touch with you as far as whether it's an indoor and outdoor event. If it's an indoor event, I mean, we can get the room set up the day before, not, without any problem. We'll have recorded music playing or Spotify, whatever. And yeah, I think it'd be good. Yeah, so we're saving money on not
Okay.
having a band out there.
Moving on to Mono Melody's initial planning. How to generate more interest.
Yeah, I put that on there. I'm just making a note to myself. I put that on there because I was wondering if we could come up with some ideas to, get the event, get people more excited about the event. Hopefully, see more turnout this year.
Melinda. Yep.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah, so, the old-fashioned in your mailbox flyer seems to be working. I've had a few messages lately about the flyer that's going around. So I was wondering whether maybe, if we did have a flyer that we put in the pubs and we put in the coffee shops, and I mean I don't know exactly what to say, because that's where whatever the poster looks like that entices people, as opposed to a big something that's got too much writing on it. But something in the old-fashioned paper route, I wonder whether, and earlier than later, and putting it up in these places where then it stays for a long time. Maybe an old-fashioned one where you got little things you rip off the number or whatever, or rip off the reminder, or something more like everywhere you turn. Wow, they're talking about this Mono Melodies thing. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was wondering if it's possible to do like a, almost like a media release or something about,
Mhm.
I'm trying to somehow get the word out, if we could get the media involved to hype it up a little bit, like, look what Mono's doing, or,
How do you get a media release? You just call them up and say, or do you have to pay them, like paid advertising, but looking like media?
Citizens, so it says.
you don't, well, you can write it's a media, the first thing you do is a media advisory, just to let the media know of an event that's coming up. And if they like the idea, they'll get in touch with you to ask you, to basically interview you about it. And it's best to email media advisories out. They really don't like you phoning them or leaving them messages. They prefer email. But I'm trying to think of what could it be our like, how do we pull them in? Like, what makes it exciting for people to come to this?
Okay. Sally, have an idea?
No,
Dave?
it was me. And I wanted to ask a question. Are we trying to generate more spectators or more musician performers? Or both?
Both.
Both. I had an idea about musician performers, and that is in Orangeville, there are a couple of music schools. Maybe approach them directly. Say, have you got any people that are studying music here that would like to have an opportunity to perform?
Yeah.
One of them is,
Yeah, she's across the street now. She's not in the church anymore. What's her name? The ukulele lady.
yeah, there's a one that does guitar and ukulele, but there's another one too.
I don't know.
Anyway, there's a couple of music schools in Orangeville. We could approach them directly and see whether they have students that would like an opportunity to perform. So that would give us more potential performers. Spectators, I don't know. Maybe RuPaul's got some idea.
Well, I know last year Rupal had a good idea about making, perhaps getting some more diverse acts. So she had mentioned like a band from Brampton or something like that, but maybe there's a band from different backgrounds from Mono that could add a little diversity to the afternoon.
Yeah, we can give some flyers in grocery store. We have one Indian grocery store in Orangeville.
Okay.
And even some restaurant also we can, like there are some Indian restaurant, and I'm not sure about some so we can put flyers on in some this kind of stores and restaurants if they allow. And I just it's just a weird idea I have. We can have a reel of our last, or we can put it on our website what our last performance were there. One of the, so that way, when the music and sound on the website, then people get attracted with maybe.
That's a good idea. I think I've got some video of Twisted Covers from their performance last year at Mono Melodies on my phone.
Or we can use their audition also.
I've got little snippets too of video that we could put together a little reel.
Okay. And so put a clip of performers from last year.
Yeah, that would be great. So that way people can know what it's all about. Especially the last performance, that lady, she was great.
Is that something like a little video, Emma? Is that something that you can put on social media?
Yeah, you should be able to, just depending on the length.
Like if we put something.
Yeah, we'd want something snappy that was no more than 30 seconds. You really want things to go around on social media. They've got to be really short. But we could do that.
And I'd also suggest maybe some signage at Menorah Park, because it's a very popular place for trails and other activities. Well, you're already taking a subset of the population that knows where that is and frequents it. So I think you'd have a good conversion rate for advertising there for Mono Melodies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great idea. We've got the trail kiosk there. We certainly have our means of advertising in the hall that we use, that we could let people know about it. But I think you're right. I think the sooner we get on it, the better. You got to think we're almost in May. So, like, I'm thinking, I'm just thinking about our Emma's and my workload between now and Make Mono Shine. It's pretty full.
Yeah, no, just wait, do it after, but I can help when I'm back. We'll do it after Make Mono Shine. Do it in the
Okay.
beginning of May.
Okay. So can I put then Emma, Kim, and Melinda will work on video?
Yeah, yeah, and well,
Okay.
and I think a paper postcard, paper something or other, right? To be able to pin up in the various restaurants, like RuPaul said, and at the Menorah kiosk and things, right? Like I don't think you should really put those everywhere. Have some interesting colored paper too that makes people look at it.
Yeah, you got to really make it stand out, attractive. Yeah, I like it. Okay. All right. What was the date? Did we put a date that the tapes had to be into us by, or the what was it?
Yeah. In the newsletter, it is July 15th at 4:30, which I think that is one of the days before one of the upcoming meetings in July.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, our RAC board meeting is on the 17th of July.
Okay. Great. That works.
But it's 1 to 2:30 in the middle of day. That time, July 17th.
July the 7th. Oh yeah, that's a meeting. That's a meeting during.
Yeah, 1 to 2:30.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything? Oh, the other thing I was going to ask you about was, I mean, I'll just throw this out there. What is there anything else that we could do at Mono Melodies to attract more people? Like, what if we would have an outdoor, like, craft event, or food trucks, or I don't know, a kite flying, contest. No, not those kinds of kites. Because Menorah is good for, or, like,
Oh,
could we,
I see what you're saying. So more festivally, while the acts are going on, we're also throwing around a frisbee or something, and
just,
yeah, the whole picnicking idea.
just trying to make it more like there's more for people to come for? Or do you just want to stick with, no, this is just an afternoon of music in the park, kind of like, I know years ago I used to go up to the Aurelia Bandshell on Sunday nights, and I would listen to, the local band come and play at the Bandshell up in Aurelia. And that's what we did. Like, I mean, there's all kinds of things to do at the park. There was playground equipment, and of course you're right by the water and all of those wonderful things. And it's summertime, and it's, you know, down by the beach in Aurelia, so it led itself to other things to do. But
We can
you know,
have ice cream truck if it's
ice cream truck.
Is there an ice cream truck that frequents around in Orangeville? That's a great idea.
Is there?
I don't know.
There absolutely is.
It's always at Rotary Park near the tennis courts.
Really?
It does make a stop there, but it comes around our neighborhood too.
That's not a
All
bad
right, well,
idea.
that's an excellent idea. I've had an ice cream truck in the city come to my events, and they've been happy to, but and of course it's in the city, so and I paid them, and then anybody who was at my event could just get whatever they wanted from the ice cream truck. But I do know that they have an expectation of going someplace and sitting for a while of how much money they want to make. But maybe that's not the case in Orangeville. Maybe, I don't know. We'd have to go over to the Rotary Club one night and talk to them. Or do we know that do we have we need to get a contact information, Mr. Freezy or whatever his name is.
I think I can go talk to the owner, but I think I have heard that people have rented him out for birthday parties. So if we wanted him to come, I think we'd have to pay him to spend 2 hours there or whatever.
So we pay them to be there, and then they get whatever sales over and above that. Is that how that works? So we have to pay them to be there?
Yes, unless we were able to guarantee a certain crowd, which I don't think we're able to do at this point. I think we would have to pay something.
Unless, of course, the guy already goes around on. I'm sorry. What day of the week were we doing it? A Saturday afternoon. I mean, if he already goes around at that time, you might say, just come drive by and stop, as opposed to, as I say, when I gave him the $600, it was, come and stay just here, just for me. Give people whatever they wanted, right? Whereas I think they do. Like when you say, Anne, they go through your neighborhood. I mean, he does move looking for some action, right? That's why he's got the dingle bell and all that.
For sure.
I'm just looking it up right now. Ice Cream Man will be out all summer to serve you and your family ice cream, popsicles, blah blah. If you hear the music coming from outside, that means the ice cream truck is nearby. Maybe we can just give him a call. I think we should just give him a call and see what he can do for us. We're just
Because our event is a couple of hours. You could ask him to swing by, 3 times in that couple of hours if he's on the move. If that's the thing that he does, being on the move.
Yeah, he'll go wherever the money is. So if we have crowds, he will definitely come.
Okay.
So, when the weather was really warm, they did a preview. Remember when it was so warm? They came down through our neighborhood. We could hear it. It was wow. And I mean, if I knew he was coming, I would stop him and ask him the question. But Mike, if he shows up at the tennis courts, and we need to see if he'll come to our open house for the Mono Pickleball Club, wouldn't that be fun? Anyway.
Great idea.
I'll just I'll see if I can get a contact. He doesn't actually have a contact here.
Oh, don't worry about it, Anne. I see him all the time. I'll just head on over to the parking lot. Yeah.
That'd be great, Mike.
Okay. Okay, we're moving on to Snowshoe Lending Library.
Yeah, again, so the year, I mean, not that we had the best winter on record for snowshoeing. No. So that spilled over into our snowshoe lending library. Yes, of course, the snowshoes were used during Make Mono Shine, which was our Winterfest, which was great. But I'd really like to start a campaign a lot earlier, letting people know that this service is available to them and it's free. You know, and again, so just asking your input on how can we spread the word for our snowshoe lending library. Wanting people to know that it's available, and like I mean, I've got ideas of putting a pair of snowshoes in the front foyer at the office. Big poster above them saying, ask us about these, sort of things. You can use these. Ask us how.
I think it's
Well,
just
and
the last 2 years, the weather has just not been conducive at all to this type of thing. So, I mean, we're really at the mercy of Mother Nature.
So another thing I was thinking about, I know we're at the mercy of Mother Nature. What if we ran a snowshoe event? Is there any way we could organize, like I know Bruce Trail's very good at I've seen them like in your magazine, that sometimes you have trail hikes with snowshoes in the winter on the Bruce Trail. And I think that's just an awesome thing to do. Is there a way that we could partner with the Bruce Trail on something like that? Or could we, get the Bruce Trail to run or to do one of those snowshoe walks, like on one of the trails close to Mono Center? Is there a possibility that we could hold a snowshoe baseball game? And is there, could we organize a hike? Could we, invite people to, could we invite, like have a night where we all bring all members of our family, or as many family members as we can drum up, like to come on over, let's meet at Mono Center and we'll all go snowshoeing. And
oh, a full moon. You know what's fun in the wintertime snowshoeing when there's a full moon, because if there is snow and there's a full moon, it's very bright and kind of a different thing. We could just do a small thing from a small loop from Mono Center, like we did, like a loop that we did when we had our Mono on a bike, and then maybe have hot chocolate or whatever back at the community center, or tea inside if it's cold or whatever.
great idea. Hot chocolate and Anne's wonderful cookies, or
Yeah, I mean, they do have snowshoe events. They hold a snowshoe race at Albion Hills and so on. And it does depend on having enough snow and being, picking your date of when. Like, we don't do it in December, and even January is tricky, and February is kind of the better time, just like with our Winterfest. It's but yeah, I think it would be a fun thing to do. We could start small. We do only have the 46 pairs of all the different sizes, so I don't know I don't know how many people that really translates out to be. 10 men, 10 women, and some kids, or like, I don't know.
Yeah, like could we register you have to register for the event, or could we pick a group of people? Could we say, okay, we're going to invite the pickleball club to go snowshoeing, or we're going to invite the Mono Tennis Club, members, or we're going to invite the local residents of Mono Center to go snowshoeing, or like I said, we're going to invite all our families to go snowshoeing. We're going to invite counselors and their families to go snowshoeing. I don't know. Staff.
We can introduce for ping pong and the soccer program, and also we can relate to them also, because youngsters, so I'm not sure. Other
Yeah.
partners.
So one of the
Yeah,
things, one of the things for promotion and so on, and it takes time to do it now in the summertime, but you make up little advertisements and little snippets of things and so on, and that they automatically get posted. And it would be really nice if it could be, there must be an AI app that's automatically posted when the weather forecast says that it's going to snow, right? Like, I wonder, you must be able to do that nowadays. And then that would, be tweaking people's memory of, oh yeah, what are we going to do this weekend? Oh yeah, we could rent. But if we picked a couple of dates, we'd have to have like a rain date. You'd have to have a snow date, just in case it was raining. Haha. You'd have to, have an alternative. But to try one event this first year, that pick whoever you want to invite. But that sounds like a great idea.
Okay. I like the idea of on a full moon.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
I mean, and we've got our snowshoe experts, Dave and Sally, who could, lead the hike.
I can do it there too. You can do it in two places. We could probably do that we could probably do something in February. Look, are you looking up the full moon?
Yeah, I was going to do that.
Because the Bruce Trail ran they call it a moonlight hike. They did one last year, and they did it on from Mono Center to over to Whitetail Refuge. But that was pretty long. But you could do a mini version of it, because
Yeah,
But the weather has to be right, and Dave and I could lead it.
that'd be
If
amazing.
it's icy or if there's any issues with the snow, it's not much fun.
Yeah.
Dave's looking up the full moons in
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
2025.
Okay, there's a full moon. There's a full moon on February 12th.
What is it?
February 12th next year, there's a full moon.
I think we're in Stokely, because we're going the week later. We may not be here. I have to check our dates. We're going to Stokely a week later because we want snow up there. Because there's a problem with snow in Sault Ste. Marie as well.
Ugh.
I think we're going up the second week. I have to check my dates.
And when's our Valentine's euchre, Emma?
Let me just check.
Okay. The 12th is a Wednesday.
Oh, it's a Wednesday. I have to check.
Are we going to Stokely there?
Yeah, actually,
So we're not at Stokely.
I don't think
The 12th is a Wednesday.
The 14th is our euchre tournament, actually on Valentine's Day this year.
that would be two in a row.
Right.
2 in 1 week. Oh, it's different groups of people.
Yeah, and all I'm envisioning here, I really like your guys' idea of it being it's dark by, for sure, at that time of year, 6 p.m. So, I mean, it's not but maybe it's like a hike from 7 to 7:30, like just even with people arriving at 6:30, I don't know. And we go snowshoeing for a half an hour and then come on in and have, you know, a cup of hot chocolate and some tea and, you know, just sit around some round tables. And if we want, we can put out a couple of things of games. Like if people want to play a game of euchre, or not, well, if they want to play euchre, they can. If they want to play,
The
what do you
Valentine's
call it?
Eucharist later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What time do you want the event to be? Like, if you do it, say, the day before the full moon, the moon will still be very bright, but the
Okay.
moon rises a bit earlier. If you do it the day after the full moon, the moon rises later.
okay, so I'd sooner,
Think about the time of the moonrise as well. That the later you do it in the phases of the moon, the later the moon actually rises in the evening. So we
So
need to
do-
think of that.
yeah. Like, do we want it around, like, would we get people out at dinner time? Like, if I'm thinking, who are we targeting? Are we targeting children for this, or are we targeting families? Because if we're targeting families, we kind of have to think about, you know, they've got to get home, they've got to have their dinner. You don't want it too late because it's a school night.
What are you looking at?
Well, I'm trying to see the moonrise time. Well, we don't need it right now.
Yeah, but we
Yeah.
could research it.
We could probably do something there, but is a midweek night okay?
It's a school night.
It's a school night?
Yeah, I know.
I think a midweek night would be kind of fun. But early, right? Like you say, it
Yeah.
depends on when the moon comes up. But you could do something 5 to 7. You know, if everybody get their kids home for bed, or 6 to 8. Everybody have a little dinner early that night or late. But to have it as an earlier evening to have the children, only because we have the children's size snowshoes.
Yes. Yes.
But you also could say, you know, here's something that adults can do, in which case you could have it 7 to 9, and then you don't have to worry about dinner time, and say, and let them know that, oh, you've had a good time. Think of if you brought your little chillins with you, how much fun you'd have on a Saturday afternoon. You know?
Do you know what? I think that's the way to go with this, is to make it an adult program, and then letting them know that, oh, we've got lots available, you know, lots of sizes available for the children as well. And these are free for you to come and use. Okay, so
Why don't we think about it, and we'll have something for the next meeting
next
or two.
meeting.
Well,
Okay.
We actually, Dave and I can't make the next meeting, just to let you know, because we're going to be in Stratford. I picked out my date for Stratford before you scheduled the meetings. So.
No problem. What are you going to go see?
We're going to see La Cage aux Folles. That's
Very
a
nice.
musical.
Yep.
With Robin Williams.
Okay. I just like the idea that we've come up with, that we'll have an event, and, you know, probably sometime during the week of February 12th. And I mean, heck, before Valentine's week, euchre, we could say, if you want to come out early, come on out at, you know, what time's Valentine's euchre start? At 7, but we tell people to come at 6:30, right? Come on out at 5:30 for a snowshoe first.
Mm.
No?
It's different clothing and everything. It's,
Yeah.
you know, it's complicated.
Yeah, okay.
Sure we could offer it. Sure we could
Good
offer it.
sounds good.
Probably a different crowd as well.
It might be, but if we're wanting to advertise, that'd be a good idea. We could certainly put it out there, and if anybody took you up on it, because you know, just that Winterfest, when people went out for a very short period of time, they all came back with smiles. You know, it doesn't have to be a ginormous hike, even off the property. It could be just around where you had groomed for Winterfest. You know, just a little circle as a you're coming to this facility. Look at. Did you know we have this? Because maybe you don't know we have this.
Yeah. But in the meanwhile, you know, if we do get snow in January sort of thing, I think what I'll do is just get some snowshoes up at the office and, you know, some type of campaign as you can use these.
Well, yeah, and let's see how our paper flyers and pinning things up around town go for getting more musicians. See if that works, and then we can always do that when in the autumn we can go around and send something out, or certainly at the Halloween party, stuff all the loot bags with a coupon for a free rental.
I love it. I love it.
Right?
There you go.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I love it. Something like that. Okay. But yeah, so I just wanted to toss that out at you guys for ways to think about increasing the use of all these wonderful snowshoes that we have now, and really wanting to get people, that letting them know that they've got this opportunity to be active. So just another one of their opportunities in Mono, and it's not going to cost them 5 cents. So, which is good. Okay. Mike, you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still here, but I have another meeting starting at 7 that I'm at, so I'm gonna have to say bye.
Okay. No problem. I think we're pretty much finished our meeting anyways. Mike, I did have one thing for you though.
Okay. Yep.
The opening of the Lynn Gibson Park tennis courts.
Yes.
I spoke with Rod Yeager this afternoon and asked if he would know some people that might want to come out and play some tennis that afternoon, or you know, as part of that event.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Rod's probably spoken to you about that already. And Mike, I didn't know whether or not there might be some of your
Sure,
associates.
I can send some people over. I'm sure they would love to play there.
Okay. So that event is next Friday, May the 3rd. Oh God, I keep getting mixed up as to, and that one is at, is that one at 10 a.m. or 12 noon?
That's at 12, Kim.
Thank you. Thank you.
I know. It's great.
So May 3rd, 12 noon. Lynn Gibson.
I'll tell. I'm sure I'll find some people. So we'll head over, and I'll try to head there too.
Yeah, if you could just coordinate that with me, and then and if you could ask Rod to coordinate it with me as well, so I know how many tennis players I could possibly have. I'd love to have at least 8. Like, I'd love to have 2 games of doubles going on, which would be amazing.
Okay, sounds good. I gotta go.
Bye, Mike. Yeah, so I mean, even if Mike could get 4 and Ann, if Rod could get 4, that would be amazing.
Maybe I'll even talk to Mike. He might be able to get he might be able to get 4. Not saying that we're not able to, but that is our second day of opening of our club, and I think that our presence is kind of necessary there. But we'll help you out for sure if Mike doesn't get 8 people. Okay?
Okay. Okay, that'd be great. That'd be great. Okay, so Dave, seeing as you are past chair, do you want to finish off the meeting for us?
Shut up, Ginger.
What do I have to do to finish off the meeting?
Get a motion.
Ask for motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion to end the meeting.
Okay,
I'll second it.
okay, thank you. The meeting is adjourned.
Good job there, Dave.
Thank you, Ann.
All in favor? Yes, all in favor.
Yes. Go Leafs, go.
Okay, you guys, so hopefully I'll see as many of you as possible at Lynn Gibson next Friday.
We'll be, maybe.
Yeah, I have to. I'm at work, so
Yeah,
unfortunately.
I know that.
So,
But
Friday.
so
So
Kim,
what time? What time? Sorry. What
how
time?
long is that event, Kim?
half an
Is it
hour.
So you only need people playing like from 12 to 1? That's my question.
12 to 12:30.
Yeah, like, well, probably be like for them to come out at 12 noon and be ready to play at like kind of 20 after 12 so that they can be part of the pictures and all of that, you know, so that in the background, there's people playing tennis.
Okay.
And what time on May 4th? On Saturday we have to come?
We'll get in touch with you in that regard, Rupal.
Okay. Okay, great.
Just it's weather dependent.